Let's do the drugs. Okay. Okay. Just don't explode. What the hell? Physics. Okay, it's been 40 seconds, so I should actually be live now, because Twitch loves to not give a shit about the first 30 seconds. Hi. This here's Dungeon Keeper 2. You're either old enough to remember it, or you're not young enough to know what you're missing. I'm going to attempt to play it. Bits of the UI are missing. So that's going to be something to contend with. Hello, bird. Wife got it to work. Don't know how well it works, but it feels a bit rickety and buggy. So if we switch over to another game at some point, if and when something happens, sorry, it's a 2-decade-old game without a fan patch. So yeah, Bullfrog did this shortly before they got acquired by slimy old EA. To the point where if I go into the extras menu now, there should actually be a little teaser for Dungeon Keeper 3 that they sadly never made. I would lose my shit if they announced actual proper Dungeon Keeper 3.
Your creatures need you to construct additional pylons.
Yes, they probably will. I remember the basics of how to play the game. Love it. Love the game so much. Gonna be nice to go back and fiddle around. Never beat the campaign, not even cheating. Which I was a shitty little kid who cheated everything he could do for a while, so... There will be attempts made. Now, this game has 8 scrolling, and I don't know if I could set the intensity of the scrolling, so you know, some of you might get motion sick. Also, the cursor's quite sensitive.
Welcome, Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm. The local champion, Lord Antonius, holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon, and build up your forces so that you can crush Lord Antonius and wipe the smile from his face.
Tutorial mission with the lovely narrator.
Your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land.
Ah. Once the dialogue is over, I shall answer that. Also, hello, viewers.
Here walks the goodly Lord Antonius. 'Tis he who holds the precious portal gem, but only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize.
Damn it. I have played both. Didn't finish either.
There's money to be made. Click on the flashing seam of gold. Your imps will dig out the area you designate.
So this here's our dungeon heart. Don't let it get hit too much or you lose the level. Left click to tell your little worker imps to dig out an area of rock. This particular bit has money in it.
And now your faithful servant imps will carry back your gold to Dungeon Heart. Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves. A start indeed, but more gold is required. 12,000 units should be mined.
See, I don't know what... I think this is... If I mouse over it, up there it says objectives. I can't see anything. The UI is missing in a lot of places. but it should be
Red
fine.
flowers float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
So that pleasant sounding aha is if anything is dirt ground like this, I don't actually own that territory. It's only when my imps tile it up like that that I can build on it. You dig out from a finite amount of space. How do I zoom in and out, actually? Woo! Yeah, I tested it to make sure it worked a little bit, and then not much more. Since this is level 1, I won't be going for super optimum room sizes and placements and whatever. But later on, when that becomes important enough...
You are ready to recruit more creatures to your cause.
Oh boy.
See? A portal near your dungeon heart to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge.
So, I've played both Black and White 1 and 2. I never beat them because I couldn't grasp how the game wanted me to go and claim lands. It always seemed very stacked and a bit boring, unfortunately. Black and White 2 was received fairly unfavorably by people at the time it came out because of some strategy elements. So I never got. I never really got into it.
16,000 carried home.
Yes, our dungeon heart's full of gold, which is only a minor issue. I'm going to be spending that gold putting down a lair.
A place of rest where creatures sleep to calm their tempers and restore their health.
And you'll see.
A place where creatures feed on favored food. The eggs will hatch and chickens then emerge to satisfy their appetites. Your lair is not large enough to draw sufficient creatures through the portal.
Oh.
15 tiles or more is what's required. Build more. Your lair is built.
It's exactly
now
15.
right-click to cancel building mode.
So as I click on anything new, the game's narrator will be kind enough to tell us what we're doing, what's written in text. You can see the little imps here, the little ticker inside, the one that's clock ticking up. That's their experience levels. Imps get more experience just by doing their job, which is fantastic, as it means that they'll have more options and they'll do it quicker and or better. So yeah, levels are incredibly important in this game. You do not want to send up level 1 creatures against level 10 creatures unless you want to see brains splattered against the wall. I should also mention that my viewpoint's a little bit skewed and I can't figure out how to like zoom in things, and this is the missing UI. You can tell that there's meant to be things here, but there's nothing here. So I'll have fun figuring out what some of this was, yes. Vinaigrette says, Black and White 2 was considered worse, I think, because it had much more standard and obvious RTS design to it. I think it's fair enough to have found Black and White 1 a bit dull. Playing nice could be very, very vague about how you were supposed to expand or anything. I know that I was supposed to wow the villagers of the enemies,
Behold your portal, the gate through which you
things.
enter your domain, drawn forth.
That's how you did that, but
which you provide.
Sometimes it was so far away that my influence wouldn't let me cast shit.
A goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighting force.
So I doubt I'll give a shit about
Progress keeper.
this exact thing, but...
Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken flesh. Now keep watch, for very soon more goblins will arrive, and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius.
Creatures come in several categories. A goblin...
Ah, you've picked a creature up.
And I'll have to resume that.
Right-click anywhere on your land.
So first things first, there are creatures that come in types. Some of them are flankers, some are blockers, some are supports. I think the goblin is a flanker because he's a weak little shit. He has come to the lair and made his bed there. At some point he'll grow hungry, in which case he'll pick up and eat a chicken. And the money we dig out is used to feed our minions when payday rolls around. This payday says that my 1 goblin will cost 1,000. Okay, my 3 goblins apparently will cost 1,500 at some point. If you don't have that money, your minions get awful unhappy about things real goddamn quick. I think I'm meant to tunnel north at some point to go and face the dude guy. Just prematurely do that. It's worth noting that in the proper full game, outside of the
breach, the servants of Antonius have broken through your walls, and you can move your gaze to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing blade. But worry not this time, for it is only dwarves, who, feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins.
I think they're slightly stronger than imps, but basically they're no match for proper fighters like a goblin.
Are being crushed. Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal shows.
So if this ever happened again, I could either manually pick up my creature or creatures, or I could go to this menu and just rapidly click on them to pick them up, and then drop them wherever they're needed for their role and or the action might be. Additionally, don't dig around like an idiot like I did, because later, when you have very precise ways of completing levels, one thing that can happen is you'll inadvertently dig up to a common ground sort of cavern that you really don't want to disturb, because at the other end of that are enemies that are waiting to kill you.
You have to challenge Lord Antonius for his portal gem. Tunnel north and you will find your smug opponent skulking in his keep.
So the importance behind that is, if your imps ever break into an area, like this right here, I didn't tell him to do anything with this, I just broke the wall that had this open area on it. One imp will come over here and start claiming this ground. I can't stop them from doing so in any possible way. If I had a workshop to place doors and put a door here and locked it before they claimed it, then I could. What this means is if there's a good old communal area of unclaimed land, they'll claim it all the way to the enemy base and get shit on. It'll also...
I see you have discovered a magical item.
It'll also activate, though, the enemy forces, and they'll fucking murder you. So this magical item, I don't know if I can bring it with me or if I activate it.
Have been blessed with experience.
That's fine. Basically, I activated an exploration bonus that raised all my minions levels by 1, so if the tutorial Lord of the Land was not a match before, he isn't gonna be one now. Pick up all my creatures, drop them here. And there's a bit of a stun delay.
Away, Keeper! You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways!
Well,
the feeble Lord Antonius. See how the petals of his white health flower are of a special shape. This marks him down as your prime target. Take him out.
Badass imp just casually taking territory right there.
Lord Antonius is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his helpless form, in wait for Horny to collect it so it's yours. And comes he now.
That's the Horned Reaper, aka Horny. Think of him as a really temperamental bastard super boss that you can summon to unleash on your enemies. Basically anything will piss him off. If he's pissed off, he will just murder everything in the near vicinity. So don't piss him off. Fortunately for you, what he really fucking likes to do is murder everything. So as long as he has things to kill, it's not gonna be you. He's a volatile little prick, but immensely useful in situations where you have an oopsie. He can basically equalize a...
new spells in the library. The training room lets creatures improve their combat skills.
He can basically equalize a really nasty combat situation. Debriefing.
Hot lip.
And you get these little cutscenes in between levels. I would like to say don't ask,
Keeper.
but...
You have successfully ended the life of Lord Antonius, and you have claimed your first portal gem as well. This is a most promising start.
That was a little video of the minion known as the Mistress. We'll encounter her later, and her quirks will be explained in detail at that point. Put your kids to bed. No, really. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. As long as it proceeds and I can play the game, I do not care. So each of these is a level. There's some hidden levels, by the way. I will try to get them, but without consulting a guide, that's going to be difficult. Some of them are specific.
A joyous land filled with light and music. Let us silence their wailing voices once and for all. This land is defended by Lord Darius, a far tougher opponent than Lord Antonius. Only by harnessing the forces of dark magic will you defeat him. Build a library to attract warlocks to your cause, and they will reveal to you the secrets of the arcane.
Couple of things to note here before we march on to more narration, and I can't really do that for 10 minutes. What a portal spits out as minions for you depends on the rooms you have available. By only having a lair, I could only receive goblins. Now that we have unlocked the library, it's entirely possible for wizards to spawn. Wizards are background support units that hurl fireballs, so you want to keep them out of the fray. More importantly, we have a training room, which creatures will use passively until level 4 to get to level 4. It makes them stronger. Additionally, if you're unhappy with if you build a library but you get 1 warlock for 5 goblins and it stops giving you creatures, you can throw some of the goblins, or whatever they are, back into the portal, and you might get a warlock after a small cooldown. So, if you're looking to have a specific type of army, and you will have to with the game, with the way the game's set up, rather. Yeah! Introduce the rooms, introduce the creatures. Level 2, not hard, not easy, nothing. Just more of the same.
But with added
Darius
responsibilities.
presents himself against you now. He's more worthy as a foe. But use the rooms you won from Smilesville to good employ, and you'll slay him dead, just like Antonius.
I should note that this 2-decade-old fucking game still looks marvelous today. Art direction's better than graphics, kids. I'm talking to you, DICE!
Build a lair, and then a hatchery, then claim the portal near your dungeon heart.
Yeah, so the basics will always have to be get an amount of money, if you don't have any, plop down a lair, and then a hatchery, ideally close to that lair, because wounded creatures, creatures that don't die, and there's several ways for them to not die outright, can be ferried back to their lair, and once they're there, they might recover enough to eat. Generally, you'll want to have, the lair somewhere close to the hatchery, and the training room close to the hatchery so that they don't have to go too far and can keep training. Because remember, everyone's on a budget, especially you, and if the minions take a longer time going between rooms, they'll just eat into your money for no reason. I could open this portal, but I've literally no reception for my creatures, so that wouldn't pan out exactly well. I think I'll seclude the warlocks in this area. And some rooms are okay by 3x3. So I'm just going to show you the hatchery when we get to it and how that works. Some rooms have special effects if you have them built over a certain size. Now, that manifests rather strangely for some of them. I'm not going to be able to fancifully wall them off. And my hatchery is going to look a bit shit, but it's fine. I'd rather not use these 4 tiles, although I'll have to get over that. We have access to spells now, although we don't know what they are, as they haven't been researched yet. Warlocks and some other creatures are your researchers. Without them, you're not going to be able to unlock, or, a matter of fact, use certain spells inherent in the level. Up here's mana, with my dungeon health bar next to it. Mana is drained by your imps and increased by the little tilings. As you see, this one is going to go to 93. So it is in your interest to claim some land, but don't be gung-ho about it. So again, this is early days and you don't need to have a lair quite as big as mine. I'm just kind of an idiot with this. You can see the money vanishing from the treasury heart, the dungeon heart in real time. The little bits drop there. I think I can pick them up actually on my own and just drop them in here. Now that they're in there, they count for money that I have, which means that I can spend them. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah.
Where warlocks wise can hone their evil craft, perfecting spells for you to cast at goodly foes.
So you saw that the little bookcase appeared when the room was 3x3. Generally, there are thresholds to rooms. A hatchery. I will demonstrate this very fucking badly once the imps figure out their life, and in a matter of fact, please research as well. One of the first things I do on every level is summon about 5 billion imps, because this is way too slow. Oh, fun fact, you can slap your minions. Now, normally that's highly inadvisable. Imps are the lowest of the low, they're the dirt on your boot. You want to slap them occasionally to entice them to work faster. Don't do it too often, because they do lose health each time you do it, as you can see. Basically nothing likes being slapped, especially not the Horned Reaper. Except one thing that well, later. So for my hatchery, demonstration, let's make a hatchery. Well, that's shit. Oh, it's got columns and a little hatchy building in it. Okay, well. So go around, some there, some there.
Hark now.
Bollocks.
A warlock has arrived to study spells within your library. His research will serve your magic well. Restrict him not, though, to his books, for when in battle he may prove formidable with fireballs.
So there's 2 of these hatchy things, and sadly there isn't 3 of them. If I can expand...
Every bookcase in your library will attract another warlock to your realm.
Oh, that's how that works. Okay, well. So if I expanded this one line down here, I would have more of these hatchy things, and that would just be nicer and faster for a lot of the things we need to have happen. I'm trying to use this period of moderate grace with the quote-unquote easy levels to relearn shit that I'm supposed to be doing. So there's 3 bookcases, so I can hope to have a maximum of 3 warlocks at any point. And that's going to be fine. The 3 backup casters are fine. Now, you can see that that warlock is down here studying. And that's filling up our spell, currently discovery meter. Later, when you've researched everything, they'll go through everything once again to improve that spell, to either make it be more powerful or cost less mana. Vinaigrette says, always used to try and play this game like I was just trying to give the evil hordes a nice peaceful commons to live in. Commune, rather. You treated this like The Sims! That's cute.
The training room is a place where fighting creatures hone their skills.
Uh-oh.
And now to build a training room. Best to make it square and 4x4, so that there'll be targets for your creature's training needs.
Well, I prefer 5x5, but I'll see how it is, because I might have just misremembered a couple of things. But yes. Generally, you want them to be shaped a certain way. In fact, certain special room shapes and sizes can attract certain special creatures. This is walkthrough bait. You are not going to find this shit out accidentally. Google it. I will not be Googling it, because to capture the game, I had to go to window display capture. So there's a lot of hardcore porn behind this window, and I'd rather you not saw that. 10, slight lie, I put it to my desktop, which is arguably presentable. Slappy Games does interrupt their actions, by the way. I want Sim Demons. I'm sad that Maxis exploded. Fucking EA. So that's going to be 12,500?
New spell has been researched.
Well, it would have been if it
Mana
stuck.
is the currency of magic, and it's this you spend each time you cast a spell.
So,
Your mana level is shown in green atop the screen. Your land will gradually renew it as it's spent. A task well done, but training creatures will cost gold. Cast your new spell to create an imp. So open now the panel Spells and select the imp's head symbol. Then cast it with a click on any land that's yours.
By the way, I love the narrator guy's voice. He is wonderful. He is wonderful. He should have more jobs. So we can create an imp. Each of these devices can house one creature training actively at any one time.
A good cast.
So I tend to have 5x5 because 9 will keep a sizable chunk of your army up to speed. Now I realize that payday's coming up in some time, and I have exactly 100 money less than what I need to pay these fuckers. So, with great anxiety, I have to branch out really quick.
Offering you another spell to cast, through which a thunderbolt is yours to hurl against such foolish enemies who dare invade your turn.
You might notice that...
Creatures born of magic and cost mana to sustain.
You might notice that my Thunderbolt is selected on my cursor, but it's also, you know, noped out. That's because a creature isn't highlighted, and it has to be an enemy creature.
I wish to train your warlocks to improve their skills. To do this, drop a warlock in the training room.
The game isn't going to let you select an imp and torture him with lightning and fuck away your mana.
Your imps have found some dwarves.
Oh, hello.
These righteous little
However,
beasts may strike as you're alive, and if they do, destroy them. For that's what they deserve.
well, I have nothing but Warlocks, so this will be a little bit interesting. Warlocks are not built for combat straight up.
Imp spell has been upgraded.
They're pretty good for slinging fireballs and annoying the shit out of people when there's a fat meat sack in the way to block retaliations.
Your imps will call your creatures
Otherwise,
to the dungeon heart.
as you can see, they have quite the wind-up on it, but also, as you can see, they're fucking powerful.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
This is one of the types of music you can hear when there's combat going on. Oh gosh, thank you very much for the host, Wizzy the Elephant! Hello and welcome to today's stream, how are you doing? Whoop.
The paltry dwarfs are now destroyed. Allow your creatures time to rest and eat. When ready, guide them north to find Lord Darius's keep.
So for the Warlocks, they will prioritize research above all else until all research is completed, at which point they'll go up and train until level 4, then they'll just kind of sit around scratching their private bits, because there's nothing left for them to do.
Look at those silly, pitiful dwarfs.
Ah, yes. They don't know who they're messing... Oh, they're claiming land. Okay, no, I'm blocked off from
Left click on your
self-harm.
creature picks it up. A right click on claimed land, then lets it drop.
What's with the 5 money? Oh, the training rooms cost money to use passively too.
For the dropping stuns these beasts a time and makes them vulnerable to enemy attack.
So look at... Do you see up here? There's a bunch of shit displayed when I mouse over things. My Warlock's efficiency currently is 80%. He's also happy. Now, once he levels up, I'm going to smack him.
Good progress.
When he shuts
One
up.
improves his skill to level 2. A creature can train as high as level 4, but that's the limit. Further skill can only be attained out on the battlefield.
It's not technically true. Anyway, slapping him raises his efficiency, and he's still happy, but don't do it too often, or he'll just get really pissed off. Efficiency, of course, speeds up things like research and training. So it's kind of worth to actually invest in slapping a creature now and then. Like that. These floating books represent spells they researched.
There is nothing left to research.
So Thunderbolt used to cost 6,000 mana, which I think it still costs, but now it should do more damage. How does my create an imp spell upgrade? Well, it spits out a level 4 imp. That's kind of amazing, considering how useful these little fuckers are and how much time it saves.
You to face Lord Darius. Tag the flashing tiles. Your imps will tunnel to his keep.
Tiny bit worried about the fact that I have 8 Warlocks and exactly 1 little goblin, but it should be fine. Water as such is an obstacle to no creature in your domain, although logistically, I can't build on this, because what would have to happen is my imps would have to have a bridge here to go through so they can connect, so to speak, connect these tiled areas that I do own to these areas that I do not. Mr. or Mrs. Wizzy the Elephant says, gonna smack him every time he scratches his private parts. I have to. I pay them good money. They're not supposed to just sit there and watch Seinfeld all day. Not what I pay the little fuckers for. There doesn't seem to be... And what I'm doing is, you see this? It says solid rock, impenetrable, can never be dug out. That you can ignore these. But what I'm doing is I'm looking around for where this doesn't exist. Because most of the secret levels are hidden behind, you know, little one-square pathways to somewhere that you have to spot and dig through, and at the end will be an item or a special thingy. And that's usually how you get to secret levels. So once I'm sure that there's nothing I can unearth, I'll take one last look at my troops. Bunch of level 2s. Not very impressed with that right now. So I'll give it about 60 to 120 seconds extra, let them get the extra clout, and I got a bonus goblin out of that. Yikes! Thank you very much for the follow, Wizzy the Elephant. Normally costing $4.99 DLC. Oh yeah. There is such a market for Dungeon Keeper 3. There's such a demand for Dungeon Keeper 3. But we've seen what EA wants to do with the game, so maybe it's best that there isn't one. If it doesn't exist, they can't ruin it. Shame. Real shame. If you just made an actual honest game. If you didn't go for phone... Look at the art direction in this. It's gorgeous 2 decades later. If you just made a game that was artistically sound, you would be able to do it on the budget of a toaster. And god damn it would sell, because Dungeon Keeper is a fantastic game. What are you... Oh, you got a speed boost. That's why you have blue diarrhea. I thought you had a little item in your hand. Well, I think I futzed about enough. I'll let them collect their paydays. Because what happens on a payday is they will physically go to a place they can withdraw money. Unless they can't. In which case, they get pissed. Not good.
It is payday.
Wizzy the Elephant says, Boogie's rage on Dungeon Keeper 3 made me feels bad, man. Better water physics than Fortnite. Oh, yeah. Didn't know about him. Well, you say Dungeon Keeper 3, but was this the EA mobile game? Or the fact that 3 is basically never happening? Oh. Ambient water is a much appreciated, that sound. So now we're gonna brave this shit. There might be some sort of buffering hidden area in here, but I doubt it. These first 2 levels are purely there to teach you the iterative nature of how to set up a basic functioning dungeon. They need this to live, they need this to eat, you need this to not die, they need this to not die, etc. You have a vast array of rooms and victory conditions and loss conditions later. Some of the levels will involve total ass hattery, involving 3 separate timers ticking at once. Wizzy the Elephant. Oh yeah, mobile game is great. 24 hours to mine 1 gold block. Absolutely high quality. That is the Chinese seal of approval. That shit. I think I'd be less offended about what a piece of shit that game was if it wasn't like so obviously no effort. It would take EA nothing. Put 50 people on this for 2 years tops on a budget of 25 million. Do you honestly expect not to see a return investment on that budget, on that time frame of a property like this? You're out of your mind. And once my imps are done mining out the gold blocks, they'll go and mine out the ones I highlighted. Because yes, they do work on a first come first serve sort of basis. Hurry up, you little shits. In fact,
Lord
there.
Darius's walls are breached. Your forces now must kill his guards and stir Lord Darius himself to come defend his land.
So I put down the physical attackers out front so they can draw all the physical attacks, while my warlocks can just murder the shit out of everyone from afar. Also, creatures like this, the dwarves that are alive, will recognize when they're outnumbered or when the opponent is stronger, and run away in fear, at least not attack.
Through his hero's gift. Your forces now must kill, and the portal gem of soon will be yours.
Keeper, dare not think that you will conquer me, you evil one. My dwarves and the power of good will drive you from this land.
Now I mention this because there's a creature we have access to in a few levels that is explicitly undead. That one specific creature doesn't give a shit about how much stronger the opponent is. It will run in and it will get itself killed. We are not doing so well. Just rescue that one warlock, quickly put him back in the lair. Now these guys will advance, unfortunately, towards my dungeon heart. But I'm actually hoping they get caught up in a this sort of hallway business and get pooped on. That's rather unfortunate. This is kind of why I let them wait till they get level 3 and 4 more coherently than the random ones. See, Skullface means that they're afraid, and they do tend to run away like complete bitches, but that's preferable to losing a highly trained creature to an army of similarly sized ones. Like, that one warlock out on there is just realizing that his life choices aren't the best.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
I'm trying to strategically Thunderbolt these fuckers down, so that only he's left at least. If something reaches your dungeon heart, everyone goes into fuck it mode. Fuck it mode is when they think, oh well, if we don't save this idiot... Basically it's their lifeline, so if the dungeon heart goes, they go, and they know this, so they'll throw themselves to save it. Hello, Imp-Boy, and thank you very much for that bit of trivia. Welcome to stream. It's hard to imagine this game as being actually 2 decades old. It looks fantastic, given its age. It's a turbo granny. I'm one of those people who would be itching for a proper remake. Wizzy the Elephant says, yes, he beat level 2. I had to get this working. The wife, rather, had to get it working over 2 hours. I plan to do a full playthrough of this insofar as I am able. But I do remember the later levels doing their best not to let you do that. Anyway, yes, we're basically got the tutorial gloves off now. It's real boy land from here on out.
Treasury lets you hold more gold. Make traps and doors in the workshop.
And then there's that.
The sentry trap targets intruders with a powerful cannon. Use wooden doors to seal off rooms and corridors.
Achievement unlocked. I speedran this, Wizzy the Elephant says. Impoy says, my anniversary campaign is almost complete. Hey, it's Impoy. Hey, it's Wizzy. Someone beat my world record. He's using command prompts. Oh, right. Is it... You two actually know each other. That's kind of awesome. Oh, of course.
I see you blasted Lord Darius off the face of the realm.
A little bit.
The most entertaining way to claim a portal gem.
Damn it.
That was singing turned to screaming has been a tremendous joy to my ears.
There was something I didn't find apparently in that level. The big fat guy in the middle, that's called a Bile Demon. Why not? Uh-oh. Yeah, hang on a sec. Okay. Just play. Yeah, we know each other. I saw his speedrun. That's awesome, guys. That's really nice. What was I doing?
Ramshackle. This is a peaceful valley,
yes.
but a poor one, since its defender, Lord Avaricious, has frittered away his riches. If you can amass enough gold, he will surely be tempted into leaving his fortress and attacking you personally. Build a workshop. Fill your realm with fiendish traps and doors to protect your hard-won treasuries. Lure this fool to his doom and claim his portal gem.
So I don't know what the exact trigger is, but...
Lord Avaricious hides within his fortress proud. He's well defended, but gold's his weakness. To lure him from his stronghold, mine all the gold within his realm.
I guess these 12-ish blocks you mine, and he'll come to you.
Workshop.
So this level teaches you not to be greedy. You can overextend for some gold that you don't need and invite a whole lot of dying. suboptimal under most circumstances. Is that 5x5? 1, 2, oh god, 1, 2, 3. No. This on a widescreen is a minor nightmare. I love it. Lovely game, love it. It's just, you know, it's a bit it's a bit shifted. Max game speed, no possession. Motherfucker, that's impressive. Feel free to poke a link to your speedrun thing in here. I and any viewer, I'm pretty sure, would be very curious to see that. I know what I'm watching. Maybe not today, I have my evening planned out, but tomorrow, for definite. And I think my neighbors are going to hate me the second a remake of this or a sequel to this will be announced, because I'm going to literally scream. And it will be a happy scream. Not that they'd know. Okay, so 5x2. It's 5x5 again. Different 5x5. I can't group them up as nicely as I'd like to here. So I think I can make this area.
Your dungeon heart will only hold a sum of 16,000 gold. So build a treasury in excess to a man.
3, 4, 5. That's definitely 5.
Treasury to store gold.
That's also 5. So I just fill this in and unfuck myself, and then connecting tunnels so they can go about the business. Please summon imps. Oh, I'll be able to in a sec. Am I the only one who absolutely spams the shit out of the summon imp button the first chance he gets? Like, yeah, slapping them works, but I don't know. Impoy says, well, there is a spiritual successor to the Dungeon Keeper called War for the Overworld on Steam. Now that that's been name dropped, that's the next thing I'm doing. Whether I completely fail to beat this game or not, I'm going on for War for the Overworld, as Impoy said. I do own it. It's a good old game. And they actually got the actual original narrator from this game back as well. Now, it's not... Don't do that. It's not actually officially affiliated with Dungeon Keeper as such. It's not an EA product. It's not EA endorsed. It is a complete fan project from what I understand. It's very competent, though. It pays absolute homage to Dungeon Keeper. And even the title, War for the Overworld, was chosen specifically because I think that's what Dungeon Keeper 3's subtitle would have been. Which is sad. Murdering properties is what EA does best. Now, how best am I going to set shit up? Lair, hatchery, training. Do need a lair and hatchery in at least. Any new creatures. If I have a workshop, I can attract the other things that... Okay, the workshop attracts trolls, I think it is, not goblins. And this is going to sound terrible, but I can just confuse trolls and goblins in my head. Both ugly green creatures that you just murder in video games.
Will use it for their fabrication,
So, you know.
benefiting you with traps and doors to help defend your underground creation.
Okay, so that's good. I need a hatchery, which this isn't ideal either, but it'll do. It's got a few of those hatchery house things. I'm gonna want a training room and also a... I'll put down a money bin here right now, so I can get any excess money to work with. So now we have a 75,000 gold storage capacity maximum, instead of the 16 from the Dungeon Heart. Impoy says, basically Dungeon Keeper 3 was supposed to have an actual overworld to fight on. Yes! I am sorely sad to this day that they just fucked it away. They bought an IP that they were never going to use, and it baffles the mind, you know, why? Why would you expel money to do nothing with it? It's egregious, it's EA, and it's unfortunate. Maybe one day they'll see. You know,
night, Firefly's essential as an airborne scout.
Crap units!
Eyes are yours to penetrate dark places and report.
Don't know what triggers him to spawn, but Fireflies are basically utter shit. They're only useful for needling really, really weak enemies in large groups. It's better than having an imp, but not by much. Although, higher levels, they might learn stuff that makes them more competent. I certainly don't remember that being the case. So, make some more imps. As you might notice, active imps increase the mana consumption. And I was saying something about EA and... oh, you know, who knows? Shenmue came out of retirement with Shenmue 3. So...
a new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
maintain hope, I suppose. There's a bit of extra gold I'd like to really get my grubby little hands on. I think each of these gold blocks is 3,000 gold, if I'm not mistaken. Could be 2, could be 2,500. But with that knowledge, it's 18 plus over here, which means the training room could be constructed. In fact, it has to be. So they don't just waste... ooh, okay. Problems. My budgeting leaves something to be desired. So that's a little bit bigger than how are my creatures looking? 4 really, really weak ones. Fix that real quick. That's fine. Payday of...
Your Lord Avaricious from his stronghold mine all the gold within his realm.
At least that's a very definite trigger that I can work with. Now what I want to do is also make space for a workshop, and have that workshop ideally be fairly close. And these are the gold blocks that the game wants me to mine out. I see. That puts an awful lot of pressure on me to make my room smaller. This game does have a... oh, he has a trap as well. And the secret thing that we super want. I can't actually click on it to activate it until it's on ground claimed by my imps, unfortunately. There is an option for infinite money that's not a cheat. Is... huh. You know when the imps mine these gold blocks, they get 3,000 out of him and it's gone? Well, there's a gem block that's literally infinite money. Whenever you find one, you're either in for the long haul or you know you're gonna need it. Just do something about that one guy, please. What on earth is that? Hero Gate! Excellent. So, I think I have access to... no, I don't have access to a bridge. So I'll need to tunnel my... attack and then tunnel my way through here to take the artifacts before I mine all the gold to trigger the realm dude. And I picked this idiotic fly up because he'll just suicide. Another DK-inspired games. Calypso Media's tried this with Dungeons 2 and 3. Honesty time. Is Dungeons 2 and or 3 worth looking at? Because I tried the first one, and it was such a pile of shit. I'm not trying to be mean here. It was just bad. Put me off looking at the Dungeon series altogether, but if you think that it is actually much closer to proper Dungeon Keeper, then I'll give it another look. I don't think they knew what they were going for exactly back then, because what they put out wasn't very good. And it did. Look/sound like they wanted to do a Dungeon Keeper sort of thing. Which made it sting a little bit harder, I suppose, when that's not what I got. 3, 4, 5. What do I need? I still need a workshop and a library. Level 2ing those spells isn't going to change much, if I'm honest. I can't unlock new ones because there's no unknown icons. I'm just thinking of slamming the little flies in back into the portal so I can get more worthy creatures out of the portal at some point. Don't want to dig out these middle rocks, or the cannons will shoot the shit out of my imps. And sadly they do die, so the only way you can get some more is with mana. It's 3,000 gold. Training and payday. Is that 5,000? 3,000. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this guy alone. And then these two can be dug up to cope with my money situation. Imboy says, yes, the sequels are the real deal. I will open the shit out of the Steam store page and have a proper look. I am dying for more quality Dungeon Keeper experience. Or Dungeon Keeper-like experiences. Actually, I don't know how well War for the Overworld sold. I'm hoping that it did well enough to facilitate a sequel of sorts, an expanded game, or something. Spoke to a couple of the devs on Twitter. They're really, really friendly people. Keeping the dungeonisms alive. Hi. Stop getting killed. There will be a spell later called Possession. I could use it on this dumbass here to avoid him getting killed. I could even circle strafe... Hi. That's a thief. I could even circle strafe the cannons and... basically take down much stronger enemies, provided I manage to not get hit. Random thief. I think that's from the gates. So I'm gonna have to really up my shit. I'm gonna need to make the library real quick. Basically because I need warlocks. 4x4 should ensure that I get enough. I can have a maximum of 6. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chuck these fucking flies back in the portal. Pieces of crap.
A firefly has left your dungeon.
So now the portal can spit out new creatures for me that aren't terrible. Heart of Gold and Under Games. War for the Overworld has 2 expansions.
A new species of creature.
Oh, I see.
Your dungeon.
I'm going to have to look at that in more detail. I'm not usually a DLC kind of person, but if they... I know that there's a free play in Dungeon Keeper called My Pet Dungeon. It's vague stuff like achieve this amount of points by doing this on this kind of map. And then there's a massive-ass free-play map where you can do whatever the fuck you want. That, for Heart of the Overworld, was put behind a paywall, which some have taken umbrage to, but I don't personally find an issue with it. Yes, it should have been in the base game, but we got a really good game, and the developers aren't massive big time. You know, the most important thing is they put out a quality product, and they deserve that money. So it's not like a $60 game that doesn't launch feature complete, needs 7 day 1 patches, then has the audacity to ask $20 for a fucking skin. It's not what you get. I miss when... miss when games had actual fucking effort put into them. Now we just have things like No Man's Sky. I mean, how it launched. I keep hearing that, oh, it's really impressive now, and they... fixed it and whatever, but maybe not coasting on outright lies for a good year and a half would have also been, you know, good. So I'm at war with myself because of the big ass rooms I made. The payday is going to take about half my money, as is live training.
By the splendor of your workshop, his craftsman's skills are set to serve you well. As one who's toiled
what now?
Both traps and doors for you to use in your
That's fine.
It is well built. Now, use the hammer tag to see the workshop panel. Then select the symbol for the sentry trap.
Here's the thing. Payday's going to take my money, and training just passively takes a couple gold every seconds anyway. Money tends to be finite in most of these games.
Because he has no lair.
Levels. Oh, I have outgrown my lair, maybe. No, I haven't. Idiot. Oh no, the UI, that's broken. So, I'm going to have to make a move for this 2x2 gold tile. God damn it. I'm going to need to excavate this real fucking quick so I can buy myself a little bit extra time to set shit up. I will need to beat these cannons and claim the secrets at either end, if there are any that way-ish. But yes, now that we have a workshop, we have access to doors, which we can put to block enemies and intruders and just make the dungeon look a bit nicer. I could put one
Your wooden doors
there,
and
but
narrow tunnels to slow down hostile enemies as they invade. It is payday.
like, doors are fine, but the wooden ones are basically worthless. They won't keep shit out.
Flashes near your dungeon heart is a good place as any for a sentry trap.
Yeah, that's awful advice, because what you actually want to do is make it so it can actually hit things. Putting it here means that it won't be able to, unless you mine these rocks, that it's got very limited vision. I would prefer to have it up here.
Now watch. Your trolls will fabricate the trap. Then imps will take it to its designated place.
This way, they're on the front lines, and they can back up my attackers in the way I need to go. They don't have perfect sight lines still, I could have put them here. But I kind of want them to be the center of focus for attackers, so other ranged people can slam them from there. Don't do that. Mr. Imboy says, well, all the War for the Overworld expansions are worth the buy now. I agree, I have them all. I do not, but you have reminded me to have a look. I just think of it as the base game, and the DLCs don't enter my mind because I'm shit. But I will correct that. Now, in the case of trolls, as you can see up there, it says that their fighting style is that they are blockers. These tend to be enemies who are either weighty, so enemies can't squeeze past them, or durable, tanky, so they can't be killed easily. Now, your wizard's fireballs aren't subject to things like physics. If there's a fat, chunky little fucker blocking the way, the fireballs aren't going to care. They'll just go right through and do a nice bit of damage, and that's what we like. This particular workshop has maximum space of 3 workers, and 21 undelivered items stored maximum at any one time. Waiting for my warlocks to... Oh, okay, we're running out of money. I have to accelerate my plans here. Bit nervous. You can see the real time, the gold popping out of the
you cannot afford to
thingy.
train creatures.
The 3,000 goes down, etc. What hits? Yeah. Talking to... It's easy to gush about this game. Yeah, you became active now that you have some land to take, didn't you? I should have let my trolls work out the cannons, actually. Well, it's fine. Live training will do. So again, I'm on a timer now. Payday is going to be 5k. Woo.
Your dungeon has been breached.
Where? Oh!
Your create imp spell has been upgraded.
Little turd. Actually, my level 4 imps could probably smack the shit out of the offending dwarf on their own. Oh, they dropped a bit of money too. Exquisite. Yeah, so my imps can't actually do shit about the this environment
Trap has been created in your workshop.
because of the hostilities. I'm gonna send a few of my, well, all my units really. They'll take a few hits, but they'll clear this area, and then the other stuff can happen. Imboy says, but this game and War for the Overworld also have a mapping community. Very good, thank you for pointing that out. It's a way to keep content active and fresh, and there's anything from fun maps to challenge maps to fuck knows what, and why are you two being stupid?
Hostile enemies as they invade.
Go and attack shit?
These sentries
Why?
will only fire if sufficient is your mana for their power.
Why actually are you doing this? Fuck it. Sure, I'll place a door if you leave me alone. Go on. Random imp. So those two are... I don't know if creatures ever die if you leave them there. I think they do bleed out after a while. My creatures should have not looked idiotically at these fucking cannons and should have just charged in. So now I'm trying to see if there's a way to do it. I think we get a spell later that's like a rally flag that forces them to go to a place and do a thing. But we don't have that yet. Now this is a bit of an issue, because if I just send creatures here to fucking die, that's gonna reflect badly on me and waste my time and money and yeah. On the other hand, I need these cannons gone, so I can claim that land and pick up whatever bonuses might be at the end.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Alternatively, I cannot do that and dig this out to just do the Lord of the Realm. In which case, my plans need a slight modification. That's expensive, but with the one payday and even training taken into account, this should just about last me.
Created in your workshop.
Provided the smegging trolls get to work. Right-clicking on a specific creature will bring you to a specimen of that creature, if you need to know where all of the specimens are. Like I thought, oh, I have 2 trolls, where the fuck is the other one? Oh, he's just training. Fair enough. What about my warlocks? They're trying to make the bolt spell less useless.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Yeah, my guys currently are really weak.
One left click upon them. Lock trolls within your workshop, then watch them work without distraction. Although in time, they'll yearn for sleep or food.
Nope. These thieves walk like fucking zombies, I swear. It's just something unnaturally... Nope. Oh, my cannons are active. Excellent. They do use mana to fire. You'll see the 113 drain that's slightly glitched. Oh no, it doesn't go up. It just... No, it does. 250 per shot. That's fine. They're slow. They're not, like, especially powerful, but... You know, they're doing an okay job keeping these fuckers away. I basically didn't have to deploy any of my troops. The one that found his way here on his own. Fair enough, but when all this is complete, the invading force will have a very sizable disadvantage to deal with. What's over here? Is that land I could have gone to? Well, Impo says, as such, the anniversary campaign I talked about, that is nearly complete, is for the game's 20th anniversary. Do tell me more, please. That sounds exciting. Also, excuse me while my phone just really wants to harass me about a notification. Sure. Sure. No, that's...
Your Thunderbolt spell has been upgraded.
Really dropped my phone.
There is nothing left to research. A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Nothing left to research is one of the best things you can hear. It means the warlocks are going to fuck off the library and go and train. They're going to be your main supportive unit for a very long time, so it's a super good idea to have them not level 1. And I can't place exact numbers on the stats. Is the difference between level 1 and 2 10%? Is it 10% for all creatures, or is it an amount? You know, I can't exactly do that, but yeah, between training and payday, I'm gonna have to start digging some of this out. I'll do the 1 square, which should get me through for a couple of minutes. Like in all honesty, my creatures aren't super good right now. The goblins have all reached level 4, I do believe, or at least most of them. The wizards have warlocks rather have just started. Nearly level 3 though, that's not terrible. That's kind of terrible. Both my trolls are super weak. Well, that's okay. Max mana, always good. Put a few more down. Until shit hits the fan, I'm gonna let my mana accumulate right back up, under the explicit hope that I can spam down the Lord of the Land.
Your creatures are impressed with your work.
That's just random flavor text, and I love it. if each Thunderbolt costs 6,000 mana and our maximum is 200,000, then I'm going to be able to fire off 30 of them, 33 of them before I run into the cap. Which means I can probably nuke the shit out of the Lord of the Land.
Payday.
Imboy says, it retells the story but expands on it. More keepers to fight, each map is unique from scratch, unused dialogue is used for speeches.
That's neat. So is this going to take on the form of a fan patch kind of thing? Like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 content restoration patch. Which, as you've said, this is more, but just in that similarity, I'm saying. Oh, hey, useless little fly. Now, don't even bother. You go back and give me a creature that's worth my time. Thank you.
Firefly has left your dungeon.
On the upside, once these guys reach level 4, there will be no training money to take, because they won't be training. But in the future, I will have to tone down my 5x5 rooms into 4x4s. That's perfectly fine. Since I have all these imps that aren't doing anything, I'm going to try being sneaky and dig out a whole bunch of random empty space. The idea being that if they claim all that empty space, I'll have more mana regeneration, although I do seem to remember it capping at 500. Oh, hello. And yeah, for when I do stream Dungeon Keeper, expect a whole lot of looking around and waiting. Experience to accumulate, money to trick down, rooms and traps to be completed just right. It's not a problem, it's a very good game, just promotes chatting. And yeah, the natural mana regen is 500. Unfortunate, but we will live with it. And at 120 I can actually slam out 21 currently. Lightning spells, so one last look over who's training. Halfway to level 3, 2 of them. I'm going to give it one more minute, I think. And then go for it. Just make sure they get that extra little push.
Imboy says, well, it's made with DK2's map editor, so it's made for DK2.
I understand the words, but I'm afraid the exact sentiment there's lost on me. I think what you're trying to say there, this is purely me, I'm sorry, is that it was all done it's specifically with Dungeon Keeper 2 in mind to be a lore-friendly expansion of sorts. I say lore-friendly, but you do say retells the story, expands on it, so... More love than EA is giving the game. I mean, look at Worms Armageddon. That also is going to be 2 decades old sometime soon, but Team 17 is still updating the shit out of that. And I think Team 17 is a tiny bit smaller than EA. So if they can do it, I'm quite unsure why a bigger studio can put out something like that. Oh wait, investors and shares, right. Yeah, based on what just happened here, I think we're ready to tackle the Lord of the Land. Probably going to surround him with a bunch of goblins and blast him with a bunch of warlocks from behind. That was not a stealthy prison sex joke. That having been said, 2, 3, 2... That one's going to hit level 2 in a sec. Excellent. Okay! Floodgates time, kids. Pack up your nipples, we're going shopping for pain.
Imboy says, more keepers to fight, each map is unique for...
Oh, I'm sorry, I read the same thing as if it was new. Teensy bit tired,
Keeper, I will punish you for daring to despoil my land.
In the name of the moon, you'll punish me? I'll just let them nice and calmly walk into the trap. I think they don't even aggro and get fast until they see another creature, and they did that immediately when I said that. So it's very important to let them come as close as I can, so my creatures don't walk up and get shot, though. The explicit idea is to let them get shot, but the other guy's cannons not do things. That, honestly, is quite promising. Also, I have magic, so,
Another portal gem is yours. Your wickedness inspires us all. Your simple ways are glory to behold.
I miss when I was 12, and this was the newest, best thing, and I could just put it in and play it, and... What's that? It's a crystal. Why do I need it? Who gives a shit? It's a crystal. It's pretty. You pick it up, you go to the next level. There's not a 72-minute fucking cutscene about its tragic backstory about how its gem lover spurned it, so it ran away, and it's full of magical power. Sometimes simple is good. Look at me. I'm the example. Anyway.
All change.
Creepy little shit.
Corrupting the noble. Whatever will you think of next, Keeper? The sunlit kingdom of the heroes draws a little closer with each victory, and this was cleverly fought. Well done.
So, unfortunately, and...
Avaricious lies broken before you with his gold in your coffers. Who says you can't buy happiness?
So unfortunately, and because it's come out that my little secret project was to play Dungeon Keeper 2 and War for the Overworld, yes, the first thing I wanted to play that I can play was Dungeon Keeper 1, which, while it does have a fan patch, doesn't do much in terms of actually working. I tried to record it, it ran, messed up all my windows, did some other stuff. Slubs doesn't know what to do with it, and there are other issues that basically guarantee that I can't. I cannot. So a fan patch, I tell it to run in 4K, as is my native res. It tries, it'll open up a full screen window, but it'll only, like, do you know how your monitor is? It has 4 quadrants, right? Well, the top left of mine is where it chooses to put it's like it captures the top left portion of the image that it should be displaying, but it's like 4 times as big. Don't know what the fuck that is, can't fix it, something about dual monitor setups. That's unfortunately not happening. Imboy says, I've even remade all of the Dungeon Keeper 1 over to Dungeon Keeper 2 to an extent. That's nice. Is it? I don't suppose you can mod in creatures and creature behavior. I do seem to remember some people got pissed off at some creatures' replacements. I think there was a creature in Dungeon Keeper 1 that they replaced with the Salamander in Dungeon Keeper 2, and a lot of people were very upset about that. There you go.
Shady Grove. Your next adversary, Lord Ludwig, is currently patrolling his keep, considering himself and all of his subjects safe in this land. Known as a cowardly wretch, he has always relied on others to do his fighting for him. This is one battle he will not avoid.
So this level is where we get access to the Possession spell. It lets you go into first-person view of a creature's body and take on their traits and abilities. So in this instance, we'll have, I forget what exactly creature we get, but it'll be able to launch projectiles like the Warlock, and the idea is to use that tactically to draw enemies to you, to harass them from range, or to get past sentry gun range to whittle them down before they could do anything to you. There are other things you can do in Possession mode that I have completely forgotten, and I'm not a fan of talking out of my ass, so I shall say nothing. But basically, Possession breaks the game.
Knows your intentions, evil keeper. But mark, He cowers in his castle, locked away behind what he supposes is the safety of the drawbridge, now destroyed by his own hand. From here, he has entrusted your destruction to his goodly warriors, whom he feels are more than equal to the task. For our part, we must know that they and he will perish, slain by forces under your command.
I see some glowing rainbowness. That's an unclaimed portal. If an enemy dungeon keeper, and there will be some, gets to a portal first, they have access to it. Super don't want that, do you? You're denied. I think you get 10 creatures per portal, and then 5 for each additional one. So you don't get 10, but they get 10. It can turn into a clusterfuck. Impoy says, I had to use assets from DK2 to fill in the stuff for DK1. It's not exact one-on-one remake. Still, it's pretty impressive that you've done that. I can't even imagine the amount of just sheer time that must have taken. Right, with the lessons of the last level learned, I shall try and downsize my rooms a little bit. What's that? That's 2. So it's 3x3. I actually have to make this one bigger. Or is it? I want to make this one bigger. For the layer. Then I can't help myself. I'll do a 4x4. It really is hard. This shit's compulsive, I swear. I won't need much for the warlocks. That's a 5 by whatever again. 3x3 will do, yeah.
You need a treasury to store gold.
Which means that this will be another 4x4 because yes, I will. Thank you for reminding me. Also eventually branch out for these guys, please. Probably a bad idea to do what I thought I did. Impoy says, Blaze End took me the longest to do, mostly because I procrastinated. I'm sorry, what's Blaze End? And yeah, I feel you're on the procrastination. I work better under deadlines, personally, for that reason exactly. If someone's just, oh, can you kind of, then I just tend to go, I can kind of look at it, thinking about it, to plan ahead for it in a year. Two extra imps will help a lot. No new rooms for us to play around with, but that's not a problem. We won't need any other tricks to beat the current map. In the intro, you might have seen a few of those guys with spears walking around. I do think they're called guards, and I do think that they're the good boy equivalent of the goblin. Better than nothing. Bit entry level, melee, basic. Not a huge threat, but don't let them gang you. Giggity. Ah, shit. Me and my misshapen rooms. Well, right, so this is going to be the lair. For this, we will need a 4x4 training room. I do believe that is 4x4, but... Treasury, flare. That's going to be the library. I have no allocations for a workshop yet. I should probably make this sort of central thing that. Yeah, 3x4. It's a weird sort of thing to do, but that'll be adequate. More than adequate, actually. I think the OG 3x3 could house 3 workers, so you know what? Fuck it. 3 at a time is probably more than enough to crank shit out. Open the floodgates. For the Hell Hotel has lifted its curtains. Here's what I'm doing. I'm just throwing all this loose change in here like it doesn't matter. But, and it's a small nothing that the game does, but I really like that it does it.
You've claimed the portal.
That's not what I meant to press. So I threw all my money in here. Have it all, who cares? And the piles get bigger and bigger. Well, that's not added to my treasury. What if I brought my treasury here? That shit's in real time. I still maxed my money, but we now have a
species of creature has entered your dungeon.
way more wiggle room in terms of shit to do. Now, here's a fun thing. There's one block preventing something over here, and you can tell that it's something. You either go ahead and get your shit kicked in, or that might actually be safe. Unless you're using a walkthrough, you cannot possibly know this. Also, that's a guard room. I forget exactly what it does, but it's a good job we found one. I'll get back to you in a sec. I have a
The guard.
weird feeling about this.
Drop your creatures here to keep them lively and alert, thence ready for the fight. The flashing area which surrounds it marks the zone where any brush with trouble by your creatures will give cause for them to dash back and report, so reinforcements can be found. Make sure there's adequate provision for your minions' needs nearby, for though they are on guard, they still require their creature comforts, and it's wise to minimize the time they stray from duty.
So that's what that does. That's a hero gate. They will randomly enter through there. He is exploring, not guarding, so that's fine. The guard room's crossed out because we can't actually build it, but it's in our room inventory as a thing that we own. With that in mind, I'm gonna see if I can build a hatchery here. It's close to that particular guard room. The hatchery is one room that you don't want to size skimp on. It has to be able to supply a whole bunch of angry, pissed off fuckers.
Behold,
Hello?
the Dark Elf. Her sniping skills as sharp as bolted arrows which she shoots. She serves you well in line behind your fighters, and excels in duty as a guard.
I don't know what excelling in her duty as a guard means in practical terms, but yes, having a guard room is what attracts her, them, it. I'm not actually sure they have a gender. So some warlocks to unlock a new spell, which will be possession, which we will need because, wow! That's for the workshop.
Observe the creature panel on your screen. Click on creatures' numbers once or more to carry them, and drop them where you will, just as before.
Well, those are boobs, so that's it,
Observe
yeah.
also the symbols which lie beside. Use these to gauge your beast's activities. The number which now fight or work, and whether they remain good humored.
Yeah, and that's going to become a training room. Only 4 spaces. That is not acceptable. Like, it's not the 9 that I usually go for, which, okay, doesn't have to be 9.
A new species of
4.
creature has entered your dungeon.
There would have been more, actually, had I let the imps fortify the walls. And you will see this, if I just quickly unfuck myself here. Claim it as a training room. If you look up there, it has 8 spaces. I fucked that up. It has 8 spaces. Once they fortify the walls, moving targets can appear that warlocks can use as target practice. And I think that does up the number. Hey, I'm glad I didn't talk out of my ass. So if that one's finished, we get 10 whole training spaces, which is more respectable. Fortifying the walls, as this imp is doing, is important because it slows down enemy breaches. Ow. And I'm sorry, but my allergics shenanigans are acting up today.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Now, with that in mind, I think I built one of every room, so it should be fine. That one's guarding, that's totally fine, although I'd rather you trained, because I will need you. There's one of each. Possessing a fly is actually super good for getting around and looking at things, which can be super important to plot out your strategy. For instance, I noticed that there's a weird... All this is unmineable, except this one weird square, so I'm almost sure that there's some goodies there. I'm gonna take my big boy ball sack over there and have a look. Do note that carelessly exploring like this later will fuck you. Because you know how we have a bunch of traps we can deploy? The enemy has that. Maps have that. And one of the traps is a Indiana Jones boulder of death. It does exactly what you think it does, and mining walls and opening doors will often set them careening down the one path of destruction towards your minions.
Hello, Dino!
Hi, Naga. What are you doing? I'm playing Dungeon Keeper 2 and enjoying the shit out of it. I guess that was just a random space then. And back to the cursor.
Goblin has become unhappy because he has no lair.
Well, that's not my fucking problem, is it? Make yourself a place to stay, you stupid prick. He went straight to the fucking training room. There's 20 creature spaces, so we're well set up. I don't think this will get filled completely. Gonna expand my treasury the tiniest bit. And once the warlocks have done their job, I will definitely spam upgraded imps everywhere. One thing we're not doing is going north. I do not know what I'm gonna get. That's scary. Given its 3x3 nature, I'm almost sure that it'll be another guard room. And if you look, there is a single connecting pathway into otherwise unminable, through otherwise unminable rock on both sides. And I remember that configuration from the level 18 years ago I played last.
Dino says, the hell is Dungeon Keeper 2? Impo says, one of the best RTS management games ever.
I agree unreservedly. But I'm just going to run that down in a sec. Need to turn on my light. I have a nice HD camera if you can't see all the disgusting pores and wrinkles on my face, right? So, Dungeon Keeper is... You play some sort of unmentioned evil that is... tasked with taking over the goody-goody two-shoes overworld of the game world. I do this by inviting minions in, such as the goblin, the warlock, etc., through rooms I create. They do my bidding under the assumption that they will be kept happy and fed. So they have to have a place to sleep, they have to have chickens to eat, they will train, they will research, they will craft contraptions I tell them to do. The idea is to then take this against the realm's heroes, and each terminology, never mind. So basically, each of these levels has a hero that you need to murder, or another keeper. And, yeah. Not much more to it, although, it gets complicated real quick. I don't know if complicated is the right word for that.
Spell has been researched. Possession spell. Cast on a given creature places you within its soul. Your eyes behind its eyes. Makes its movement fully under your control.
Here's the thing. As you can probably see by the fact that there's no fucking UI elements, I want to save my game, because I'm not sure if Possession's going to play nice with the jury-rigged solution I got, and I'd rather not lose this progress. You can hear me frantically pressing everything. So I can't save, so that's good. It means I will probably stop after this level, as I don't know how long the next one will take, and I super don't want to be like 90% into a level and lose. But I have to be very mindful of the fact that I can't save.
Dino says, did you say under the assumption? So you aren't providing what you said you will?
Technically I am, but there might be times when I'm a little shit and I can't. A couple of levels from now, we will get the casino room. Thank you very much, Imp Boy.
Quick saved.
I love you. Platonically, but I love you, dude. The casino is a room that you can either rig up to take minions' creatures, which will piss them off, minions' money, which will piss them off, or you can increase the payout to keep them happy. That might provide an artificial boost for when you're lacking in other areas, and money isn't finite on all levels. Thank fuck.
Control L, that's quick load. Thank you! Seriously. Looks like position screwed you over already. Imboy with the save, no pun intended. Hey, I sees it. There's actually a way to possess... So the way imps fortify walls is actually very slow, and I remember that you can possess your imps to do it yourself and claim land if it's available to be claimed, but I do not remember how. It's recommended to do that if you've got a minute to spare yourself, but my memory's shit. Anyway, I'm going to grab the possession spell and take possession of this Dark Elf. So as you can tell, it's kind of early 3D Proto in that
Payday.
it's not exactly perfect, but it's very good for its time. And up there, you can see that I have my basic melee selected. It's just a strike with the bow. Pressing number 2, however, makes me shoot out a bolt.
I see you're adept at this new skill. So, time to try another. Grouping. It enables you to band a number of your beasts together in a group. To do it, first possess a creature, then select the group key. Then look through the creature's eyes which you possess. And then, when you spy another, left-click upon the mouse.
I see.
All creatures thusly grouped will follow you wherever you may go.
So I don't actually know what the group key is, which is going to cause issues later. But I suppose it's going to be G, for common sense. I don't know if I can first-person train my creatures. What ends possession? Right-click, okay. Messes ever so slightly with the camera, which I now cannot... Oh, it's controlling something. Thank fuck. And that's the zoom. Thank you. Right. Possession is going to save your ass a lot. It's a good idea to snipe things from afar if you can afford it. Or I could possess a fly and carefully scout ahead. It doesn't matter if the fly dies, they're basically worthless, but they ignore ground tiles, which means that if there's a big fat lake of lava, you can just fly over that shit and have a look anyway. You can plan your strategy. Group key is number 7, thank you very much, dude. That makes less sense than I would have hoped for, but I'm happy with it. Either way, we are done waiting on our pretty little tushies. I shall go and explore over here. For there might be goodness. Extra treasury from 48 to 60. Okay, so each square can have... Each square holds 1 gold blocks worth of money. I'm going to brave that. And have you upgraded my imps yet? No. So you can already tell that there's some crap behind here. Be very careful about what you breach. That's unfortunate. Well, here's my problem. There's a whole bunch of shit there and I don't know what it is. So I'm going to put that fly down. I'm going to say let's possess this motherfucker. That's kind of adorable. Oh, it's a guard room. You can see, if you see some of the walls morphing, it's because the game lies to you what's there because you haven't explored it yet. Once you explore it, it fills it in with accurate details. And there's nothing for me to worry about, basically.
Your create imp spell has been upgraded.
Thank fuck. Get to work. So again, this will need to house a sort of guardian for me, and given how actually I might be able to set up a cannon or two, I should do that at some ends. Oh yes, that's definitely going to have to do a thing. This gold is not trapped, and it is unclaimed, so I think I'll be safe to mine it. These side areas, I'm pretty sure, are meant to be for your creatures to lair up and hatchery up, so they don't have to go too far from their intended duties in the guard room. There's no real point putting a door there. The enemy creatures never attack rooms directly that I've seen. Although they will attack things like the sentry cannon because it counts as a hostile combatant. Imboy says, flies at level 8 can cast wind. It doesn't really do much except stun enemies. Thank you for that, though. I like this bit of trivia. It's a lot of investment. They are primarily noted to be scouts. So that's all the game says about them.
Spell has been upgraded.
Fair enough. Now here's one thing I'm curious about, Imboy. Can you tell me what upgraded possession does? As I'm thinking, I get it to a creature's soul, I get it to do shit. What kind of upgrade could I get? I don't think Possession 1 limits things, so Possession 2 has a reason to be researched. So I'm just kind of internally wondering what it might do. And I will wiki dive after we're done. Or tomorrow. Imboy, also please do feel free to drop the link to your speedrun in chat. I wholly encourage any interest in Dungeon Keeper from any and all participants. I don't have a bridge yet, so I can't just go over there and mine that. But there's a solution for that. Or there would have been, but if I mine... mining these blocks makes the gold drop. Except gold that's not on territory owned by you, you cannot pick up. So actually, I'm not sure how you're meant to get that bit of gold. If you had access to bridges, you could build over water so your territory could continue expanding. But we don't. So, trying to be judicious and check the...
sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
There's something. Unless there isn't a connecting bit here, there is something there. So let's have a look. Yeah, the trolls are working away. They're leveling nicely too. Makes me comfy. Now I think we've hit a better stride with my guys leveling decently. Also, and I'm sorry I got to this only like 10 minutes later, but how are you doing today, Dino? Doesn't do much. Oh, it's Wizzy speedrun. I do apologize. All I know is that you both really love Dungeon Keeper and you know each other. I know I asked and one of you said that you saw the other person's speedrun. That is entirely my fault and I am sorry. I have focusing issues. Doesn't look good. Probably not very good. No excuses, though. Who's doing what? Oh, that's adorable. So, just looking at this game, 20 years on, it's still artistically wonderful looking. It will never be as radiant as when it was when this was the newest tech and you were young, you know. But I'm thinking more tactically. And I'm realizing what a piece of shit I was as a kid in terms of just using no strategy and no logic. Happy that that's changed. That's a free experience boost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get all the levels, all the minions levels to 4, which is technically the maximum they can attain through normal training. Then I'm going to boost them up to 5, and then I'm going to send them at the enemy. Full disclosure, there is a Bloodsport combat arena sort of room that you get access to later,
Has been upgraded.
which puts 2 creatures
Nothing left to research.
in direct combat against each other. They cannot die during the course of that.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
They will be knocked down to 1 health and unconsciously thrown out of the arena. At which point, do not break that down, I will murder your family.
Your treasury is
So,
too small.
once a creature is determined to have lost through attaining 1 health, they're thrown out of the battle pit and rescued away to their lair where they will recuperate. This takes time, but mercifully it does not cost training money. It's not especially bad that a creature has to recuperate. That's the only way to train them up to level 8. From level 8 to level 10, there is no other way than combat and free level granting bonus stuff like what we found a couple of to get them to level 10, which is the highest attainable level. And it's added to your spell thing when you take possession of it. They might even move it to your dungeon heart or somewhere nearby. It will enter your quick bar in case you need it. By the way, Thunder's overpowered. Thunderbolt, a little bit, if you spam it. I do apologize, Imboy. That's completely my fault. I don't tend to speedrun myself. Mostly because there doesn't seem to be an agreement on what a speedrun is in the community. You can play a full game correctly and quickly, but not exploit every single frame skipping, half game skipping, glitching, etc. It's confusing what the criteria are. And I say this with the asterisk that I think that there is no consensus. Because I hear the occasional argument popping up from friends that are speedrunners. Technically, the combat pit hold as many creatures as to fight as it can hold. So a 5x5 pit can hold 9 creatures fighting. That's really quick, though! The obvious downside of that is if you send 9 creatures in and they all get the shit kicked out of them, only one of them's going to have a tiny amount of health left at the end. The other 8 being in so-called hospital is maybe not the best thing if you have an attack on your defenses and there's no defenders. So, are you able to tell me, Imboy, what the difference between possession level 1 and possession level 2 is? We got a lot of money, we got a lot of time, got a lot of mana. This level is way less stressful than the earlier quote-unquote tutorial one, I gotta tell you. And what's happening again? Oh, my cannons are earning their keep. That's unfortunate. It just means I need more cannons, though, so I don't mind. What is the fly afraid of? Jeez. I should note that a creature that you take possession of doesn't give a shit. It does what you tell it to, so if you tell it to suicide run into a vastly stronger enemy to slow it down, it will. Keep that in mind because that's going to come in handy. So, the Lord of the Realm has access to a portal that it has claimed. As far as I know, the Forces of Good cannot use creature portals, only enemy keepers can. But once we break through this initial area and claim the land of the portal for ourselves, we have extra, I think, 5 creatures that can come in to assist us. It's quite important later on to expand slowly and strategically so you can supplement your army with the required minions. I feel like I should put more... Oh boy. I feel like I should put more sentry traps down in most places. These two were super useful and super helpful, but I could probably do better if I had 4 and that sort of thing. I was never a trap kind of guy. It's imperative in Evil Genius to master how traps work. I kind of never did, so I never got far. And we have 2 free experience level increasing thingies, which means that if my creatures hit 4, I can push them to 6. Really? There you go. Lock my own door to prevent the fly from just going up and unleashing hell.
Sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Imboy has said a thing in chat. But it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch a gang fight. Absolutely. Imboy also says possession is the only spell with no changes to how it's used. Aha! It doesn't even cost less mana or anything, does it? That's a tiny bit of shame, but I mean, would it have mattered, honestly? Like, if it went from 500 to 250? Guess not.
I see you have discovered a magical item. A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
I'm pretty happy with the exploration we've done. Almost 100% sure that there isn't anything hidden away in a corner that I haven't found. And I did just say almost, so... I'm tempted. I'm going to leave that open. If I dig this one out, and this one is still solid, then I'll just, you know, probably leave that so attackers can't just lull past my cannons. Wouldn't be a very good investment. Carefully mine some of this gold, because as you can see, it does cascade on towards the good guy stronghold. Anytime that you can see an adjacent block, you're safe. So I could actually mine all this out. That one might have access to my dungeon behind it, and so we don't want to do that. Piss off, you little wanker. This imp doesn't want to fight. I'm just going to possess it and murder it a bit. There we go. I had help from the cannon, but possessed creatures are way better than letting the AI figure out what it wants to do. If you think the skeleton's only merit is to be fearless, you can give that trait to any enemy. Or any creature you possess, that will make them unstoppable fucking demons, essentially. So how many imps do I have? What 0? Wait, what? All of this says imp. Okay, okay. So what the fuck are you bastards doing? Like, why is there 19 of you and you ain't doing shit, none of you? Things taking long is making me super nervous.
Your treasury is too small.
Yeah, that's a thing. I got greedy. Mined a whole bunch of shit. We're just gonna upgrade that as well. Inboy says, position is unstoppable unless you run into a fear trap. Oh, I didn't know this. Thank you for that. I expect the general campaign AI doesn't use fear traps. There's no there's no guarantee that you would be possessing a creature. I mean, I can't see them using it, but that doesn't mean that they don't use it. Mmm, 6 digits. Mmm. Ah, I love money. Let's just gently invader-proof our shit.
Your portal has attracted as many creatures as it can.
That is a very important audio warning to tell you that you got everything you got out of your portal. Move the fuck on. For the record, that's 8, 9, 12, 15 creatures you get from the first portal. And I believe you will get 5 out of any subsequent ones, which means that it is actually time, once they have reached sufficient levels, to start banging down doors. I do think, given the amount of time that's passed, my troops are nicely trained. They are pretty alright, ain't they? Wizards need some catching up, and the Dark Elves are just allergic to fucking training. But I will need one that's highly trained if I'm going to take it out sniping. Or a freeze trap. Fair enough. Do I remember correctly in that Dungeon Keeper 2 had multiplayer? Because I feel like
Trap has been created in your workshop.
Because I feel like head-to-head Keeper against Keeper combat would have benefited more from, shall we say, indirect traps like that. Yeah, as soon as I dig this one gold block out, there's a whole bunch of shit here that, based on this water's existence, makes me think that this is a cavern, and I super shouldn't dig that out yet. Similarly to this side.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Oops. I can zoom in, there's no real point to, though. Yes, it does. Ooh. How much of an absolute ass pain is it to get it working with 2 decade later technology and standards? I'm thinking mainly along the lines of, like, GameSpy that used to use for... Even when Borderlands 1 came out in 2009 or something, that's dead, so... I think, in that specific instance, I think they migrated the services or the functionality to somewhere else, so you still can do it. But you get the idea. Okay, we are nicely set up. Just going to wait for all my sentries to finish putting, with the explicit idea there, if I get any sideswipey attacks while my main force is doing north stuff, I'm not pooped on. When I was a kid, I used to love how the money sparkled and accumulated. And something as simple as just a little twinkle can make such a difference. There you go, that was nice.
Trap has been created in your workshop.
Right, that was either the last century or the pre-last century. So I'm gonna start wetting the bed over here. First of all, I'm going to grab a goblin and possess him to break down my own door because... Don't need it. Yes, it does, but it's hard to set up. That's roughly what I was expecting. I don't know if I'm attacking my door or the... well, that's fine. Normally, your creatures have to stand still to attack. It's possible to kite some attacks and get out of range before it hits. Currently, I'm making all of them stop to try and hit me, but I'm moving out of most of the attack's range. So not only do I not get hit, but they're forced to kind of deal with me in this narrow-ass hallway while that happens. That's alright. I thought there was more in this room. And no, you cannot throw yourself into a portal and waste your own soldier. So what happens is the paths forward are actually the side paths, and the middle path is just an extra portal for you to attain 5 creatures out of. Right. How am I meant to get all this money? Imboy, do you know if there's a way for a possessed imp to pick up gold outside of territory? Because there doesn't seem to be any way for me to get this gold. I can't bridge to it, and I can't dig through this shit to get to it, so...
Enemy portal. Rejoice. A second portal is now claimed. Prepare, as from it 5 more creatures may be drawn forth to your dungeon.
So, rather fortuitously, I have 20 spaces for creatures in my dungeon. That's the exact maximum amount that I can possibly get. So, a good accidental design on that.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
What does that do? Oh, just loads of imps all of a sudden. I should point out here that, as a result of how portals work, and you have a very obvious cap on your creatures, you will rarely need more than a 5x5 layer. There are exceptions to this. There are very specific exceptions to this. I'm just gonna... I was contemplating being mysterious about it, but basically, later on in the game, you'll be able to interrogate, by which I mean capture and torture, enemy creatures. So, you saw that these guards that I knocked out were floating around 1 health for a little while. What happens if you have the torture chamber is your imps come and drag them away to the torture chamber, where they're broken down. They will either die, or get converted to your cause and they become your creatures. Even though they're good guys. Now, unfortunately, some of the creatures really don't like their counterparts swarming around in your dungeon and will get nasty about it. but it can help to have additional warlocks or a unique niche unit from the other side. Matter of fact, there's another undead unit that does experience fear, unlike the skeleton that you can get, the vampire. To get a vampire, you murder shit like I have done with the guards. You do not torture them, but you let their rotting corpses go to a graveyard, which will rise a vampire. From which will rise a vampire.
A firefly has become unhappy because it hasn't been paid.
Here is a tiny problem with that.
Has been recapitulated.
Vampires are fucking wonderful creatures. They even self-revive, at least once, maybe more than that. I quite forgot how the mechanics work, but they self-revive, let's just say that. Unless they run into a monk. A monk will murder the shit out of a vampire and final kill it. It's nice to convert monks to do that for you if you have an enemy keeper. Let's just say that. Mr. Imboy says, that would have been funny though. They dragged him to the prison first. Yes. No, yes, no, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot about the prison. So the hierarchy is, they'll go to the prison first, where hopefully they'll regain their health, and you can feed them, you can slap them, there's no consequence, you do what you want with them there. If they die from starvation, they will either have a chance to become skeletons, or they will become skeletons. If you take them out of prison to put them in the torture chamber, they're broken down. If they die anywhere, they will be carted off to a graveyard, if one exists, to be vampires. Vampires are actually very important because you can stick them in the ultimate room of the game, the Dark Temple, to prey. If it's a ludicrously large fucking size, and it's the most expensive room in the game, there's a chance that a Dark Angel will emerge who is, quote-unquote, quite powerful, but also a royal fucking pain to deal with. Not as much as the Horned Reaper, but not as much. Not as much. Phew!
Your portals have attracted as many creatures as they can.
Well, we very quickly went back up to 20 total creatures, so I don't particularly feel the need to
Quick saved.
wait a lot here, because I know what this is going to be. You can see from the configuration that this is going to be a pathway with water on each side, and from the dual pathway configuration, it does conflate, congeal, conglomerate. It goes this way. There'll be a door, there'll be, I think, either 2 sentries or 2 sentry traps. So the cannons or 2 guards. Ideally, you will want to take a warlock or a dark elf and snipe them from afar. Infinite kiting, basically. They can't do shit. Then you'll consolidate your forces and have a big ol' march into Destruction Land. Now, I want to say that it's pointless to have these guard rooms stocked, but there are these hero gates through which heroes can, under certain circumstances, spawn. Usually these are level triggers. You've advanced this amount of distance, you have spent this amount of gold, you have taken this amount of time. I took cannon-based precautions for that shit. It's not infallible, but it'll do a lot to slow those fuckers down. And don't forget that if any point, if my main force is up here doing shit, and someone spawns in here, I don't have to be, oh boy, I wonder if they'll make it back home. No, I can just pick these fuckers up and drop them down. Right, Imboy says, Dark Angels might be a pain to upkeep, but they are deadly to enemies when you have them high level. Yes, indeed. Can you remember the exact criteria? I seem to remember that they won't show up under 4x4, and you might even need a 5x5. And what I absolutely can't remember is I know that there's certain special creatures you can summon if your rooms are a certain shape and size. I know that you have to have a certain shape and size Dark Temple. Is it Dark Temple? And or some specific creatures have to be praying in it to summon a Dark Knight. I believe that one was. That Dark Knight is basically a wimpier version of Horny, but unlike Horny, it won't ever fucking turn on you in the blink of an eye. On the other hand, it is a massive racist, and if you have goody-goody units you converted, it's gonna let you know that it doesn't like that. Which... I suppose you can have a lair, if you're very judicious in your management, you can have a separate lair for goody-goodies so they don't really intermix too much. But as this is a space management game, imagine if my right after this dungeon was...
Lord Ludwig's old decrepit servant Bob, who's left on guard alone. Disturb him, and he'll call his comrades.
Why is that dwarf super wounded?
Quiet. possess a dark elf. Use her eyesight. Zoom your vision to the target. Once you have him, shoot and kill. Sure, that'll keep him quiet.
Because that's the kind of thing this is. Okay, that's fine. I was going off on one when I forgot. 5x5 temple, thank you very much. Combat pit attracts the Black Knight. Thank you for that, in fact, because, yes, now that you've said this to me, my brain clicked and realized the bullshit that came out of my mouth. Possess the thing before the imps piss the sentry off, please. Number 2. Bollocks. I've forgotten how to zoom. The strafe.
It is payday.
Oh god, that takes a while. Aha! Highlighted in red is when it will hit. Yeah, took care of that. I can't seem to be able to get a clean shot. Aha, ranged. So now I can just dance around these sentry traps. They will never hit me if I'm even slightly aware of what I'm doing. And I can, with impunity, just clear the way for my forces. This doesn't look very impressive now, and it does take some time. But factor in that you can get a stronger unit, because this is only level 2, to do this shit faster. And you might be saving creatures who are better suited unwounded for combat that is yet to come. This is taking too long. I'm going to be a bit ballsy in a sec. I'm going to try my luck with melee. I can get 2 clean strikes in, back up, repeat. I'll see what you've said in a minute, imp boy. Oh! I'm getting shot in me willy. Now there's another creature that is attracted with a temple and a library, however it's only exclusive to DK2 version 1.7. I may be running that. I feel like that's what the GOG version is. My concentration's a piece of shit right now. As you can tell, Dark Elves are weak as shit. That is why they're support. They stick in the back and they do some negligible but quite welcome extra damage when other creatures aren't looking. I'm actually hoping that the next level is when they introduce the Bile Demon. The iconic little fucker who blocks everything super good. It does need time to track, huh? I'll remember that. I just realized if I'm going to melee anyway, I may as well just grab an actual strong creature that's suited to melee. So allow me to just fuck off for a sec. There's no point doing it with the weak ass. That creature is the Maiden, which is a half human, half spider. Ooh! I remember that being mentioned, but I have never seen her. I think 1.7 either didn't exist back when I played, or more likely my dad pirated a version, then that's the version I got, and that's the version I played. So my Goblin's only skill up there is a melee attack, but it's a substantially better melee attack. You can even fire it off faster. You can see the little health wheel thing. It's taking damage way quicker, and we can get off 3 attacks to the Dark Elves too. Yeah, know your niches, kids. I'm not super sure I want to break this door down.
Your portals have attracted as many creatures as they can.
I mean, what else are we gonna do, basically? It did say it wants me to group a bunch of my fighters together. And until we get the rally to arms, whatever fuck spell, I guess that's actually not a bad idea. Exit position it with the camera I want. I'm gonna let my imps claim as much land as I can. Then the questionable fun begins. I might actually be a shit and put a bunch of sentry cannons here and let them come to me. It will take more time, though. And we are ending after this level. Usually go on for a little bit longer, but there's some after stream stuff that I've got to do.
A moat of stagnant water circles round Lord Ludwig's fort. Your imps will be unable to claim it on their own. So group your strongest forces in a band as one, and only then make bold attempts to reach the other side.
Thank you for the visual spoilers, so I know how much...
I'm unhappy because it hasn't been paid.
I have the capability to give creatures pay, so that's absolutely the fucking Firefly's job. They didn't pick up the paycheck. There are some traps around there, which I'm thinking is this extra stuff. I can dig around here, and I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 or 2 more secrets. So before we launch that big final assault, I'm just going to carefully make my guys dig around. Because this is a big one. So places like this, you don't just get fun shit like, oh, increase all creatures level and fog of war and summon imps. No, you get fun shit like entire secret levels. Or bits of the talisman used to summon the Horned Reaper. You need 4 pieces, which when you get, create the talisman, and the talisman is then yours to use when and where you want. But keep in mind that he's a nasty tempered little bitch. Revealing the map, I'm gonna go for that. Stop digging, start claiming, faster. Work. Imp.
I see you have discovered
There
a
we go.
magical item.
Imps actually do work.
The entire realm has been revealed to you.
Imps work in a context-sensitive way. They'll do the nearest task to where you drop them to. If there's a wall like this that hasn't been fortified and you drop them here, they'll do the wall. If the tile hasn't been claimed but for some reason the wall has, they'll do the tile, and vice versa. Now in this instance, I will not breach the hero's walls. There's an unguarded wall that I could breach through if I didn't fancy doing it the correct way. I will take this money because I'm greedy, and there might be a secret or 2 here, so I will risk minor sentry cannon retaliation to explore. Mostly safe at this point. There aren't any dickhead booby traps, sudden and powerful hero caches, but do not enjoy this luxury. Not too much. It is going to bite you if you do think that that's all that you get. Dig out those 2. There might be a thing. My bad. This sentry cannon's a bit harder in that I'm in water, which dramatically slows my movement speed down. But for that, I just break line of sight with it, and it'll immediately go to another target, if I can. Killing these helps anyway, as there won't be any sneaky side fire for my attacking troops when that time comes. Oh, thank fuck. I thought a fly found and broke down the door to the dudes I need to murder. I'm not even gonna bother dodging. Imp-Boy says, there's a back way on this level. You don't have to dig out everything if you found a reveal map box, because it reveals everything. Oh! So if there was a secret somewhere, I would see the secret past walls that would otherwise be unexplorable, I'm guessing is what you're saying. That's neato. I'll try to remember that from now. This is probably a whole lot of nothing. But maybe I just want to dig everything out and leave nothing. Ha ha! No. No, efficiency's good. Do think I've got everything. Now here's the thing that I'm not sure about. I have these relics that increase all my creatures level by 1. I seem to remember that there was a way to carry these over to another level. Is that a thing that naturally happens if I don't use them on this level, or is there a relic / secret item I use to make that happen? If they don't carry over naturally between levels, I'll just pop this now and fucking destroy these guys. Oh, he's even in the nearest room. Tempting little shit. By the way, the free play infinite, maps, how they work is you have a whole bunch of space to do whatever the fuck you want with. There might be some creatures to find, portals to find, secrets. To present an opposition, there is a room tucked away that is a hero room with a casino slot machine inside. The slot machine has a number on it. That number denotes the levels of the heroes in the room. You can then freely deploy as many heroes as you want to train your creatures if you need it, or to form a challenge, or to drop them into a death gauntlet of traps. And that's how that's handled.
It is payday.
No, secret boxes do not carry over. Thank you very much, my good friend. I'm going to laugh a little bit.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
That said, why was there only one of those? I'm pretty sure there was a second one. We have found a we found one that drops a bunch of imps, and we should have found a second level raising boxicle. There we go. So they bring one, and they only bring one. It sits on access. The library. My library is too fucking small. That's what it is.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Organic and figure outable is very much appreciated. We go over to Random Goblin. Random Goblin's level 6. Now, I don't know if that gave it an extra skill, but he hits harder. And he's harder to kill. By quite an amount. Level 6 is not terrible for this early in the game.
Your portals have attracted as many creatures as they can.
I don't think he hits harder. But still, let's see. So we currently have 23 imps. I activate the spell.
You've been blessed with extra imps.
That gives me 10 whole fucking imps. Yikes. I don't know if they come in at level 1 or level 4, given the upgraded create imp spell, which the game isn't actually obligated to give a shit about. And how did the money from here go? Do imps take money that isn't on owned ground then? I'm sorry, I thought that wasn't the case. That's a very important lesson for me to learn in the days to come. Fuck it. Please come in through the door quickly. There we go. Level 6s, and I mean, I know there's a lot of them, but level 6s will chew through lower enemies level. You know, someone modified the DK2 campaign to provide only goblins from the portal. How does that work? Because do you not need spells to progress? You'd be stuck having the same amount of imps, so you'd get everything done way slower, which on maps with timers wouldn't really work. It could possibly. There's other stuff you can do with spells that's super important, but I can't currently. Either way, I do believe that's us for tonight. This was a very nice exploration back into a really good game.
Organize your security with the guard room. Stake your claim on new shores with a wooden bridge.
Woohoo! I think...
Giant.
Oh, right, yes, sorry. That giant looked vaguely Scottish in a way I can't even explain.
Interrupted to your cause, and for once your minions are as pleased as you are. Lord Ludwig seems an old and overweight foe. At his peak, he would have been a far greater challenge. Still, you took a gamble and appropriated another portal gem. Well done, Keeper.
Right. This was a delightful little jump back 2 decades, and while things aren't as they were 2 decades ago, personally, or for technology or whatever, Dungeon Keeper 2 is just not going to fucking age. It's not. It's going to look worse compared to what we have today, but it's going to be exactly as fun as when you were a wide-eyed little turd bag who saw a rainbow and everything. That's a fucking accomplishment. Not 3 million sold, not 5 million sold, EA. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about sales numbers. This is a fucking accomplishment. And you took the studio and that did it, and you fucking ruined them, you pieces of shit. You have the IP. Stop it. Make something. Fucking, you want me? I'll do it. Okay, give me 50 people, 2 years, a decent budget. I'll help you make a decent fucking Dungeon Keeper game with actual talent. Which I don't have, but people under me would. You see the idea. As long as you keep your white suits away from just having any decisive power in this, it cannot fail. It cannot. Honestly, millions of us are just waiting to go back to this kind of thing. Who the fuck isn't sick and tired of all the big boy soldiers landing on beaches and killing each other at this point? That's who. Don't know what happened there, but that's probably a good... Thank you, everyone, for your support and time and attention today. Thank you very much, Imp-Boy, for the chat tonight and the various very useful bits of micro trivia. I appreciate all of that. I'm going to look at the DLC for War for the Overworld. At least I'm going to put the store page up, so I will look at it in the morning. That's super definitely what we're doing. I don't expect compatibility issues. And there's the added bonus with that I'm playing super blind. 95% blind. Real shame that Dungeon Keeper 1 just doesn't want to behave. I might be able to worm out something. I just realized that I might be able to force it to run in DOSBox. With the caveat that I tried explicitly to get a fan patch working that adds some additional crap. I will have to forego that in order to get Dungeon Keeper 1 to maybe work, and there ain't no guarantees. So, if Mr. Drex doesn't want to play Borderlands 2, Borderlands pre-sequel tomorrow, this is what we're doing. I'm going to carry this as far as I can. There will be some level restarts. I hope that I have gotten someone interested in Dungeon Keeper 2, and for the future, because I'm not the best strategy player, please give me some understanding, as is terrifying later. Hope everyone has a good time. I wish for you all a good day, pleasant evening, and a restful sleep. Mr. Imp-Boy, I would love to have you back again at some point, if you have the time and inclination to do so. I hope you also have a wonderful time, whether or not you decide to return. And that, my friends, is that, but because of the capture used, I have to slightly weasel this. I basically can't end the stream until I quit, and it's 1.7, so we have access to the Maiden. So actually... Oh, my eyes. That's presentable. May as well show off my background. Cool pig. Alright, loves, once again, thank you very much for the support tonight. We'll be back with more Dungeon Keeper 2 tomorrow. You all take care now.